Hey guys, today I wanted to tell you about some of my favorite underrated products. These are makeup items that I feel like I never hear anybody talk about on YouTube or just in this community in general, and I just feel like they deserve more love. Before we get into the products, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm doing a giveaway for a Shane Dawson by Jeffree Star Conspiracy palette. If you guys haven't seen my review video on this palette, I will link it up top. And if you want to win your own conspiracy palette, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram and make sure that you are subscribed to me on YouTube. All of the details will be listed down below. Okay, so let's get into the underrated products. I have 10 here. I'm gonna start with what I think is the most underrated but amazing foundation that I've ever used. This is the MAC Matchmaster foundation. I actually have two shades. This is shade 1 and I also have shade 2 because I do like to mix them. If you have normal to combo to oily skin, you need to try this foundation. It is gorgeous, looks like skin, nice medium but buildable coverage, controls oil, and it just doesn't look heavy or cakey. Now, most of the MAC foundations break me out because they contain a lot of talc, and pretty much any foundation that contains talc, especially if it's high up on the ingredients list, breaks me out. But this is, I think, the only MAC foundation that does not have talc in it, so it does not break me out, which is amazing. Now, they call it the Matchmaster foundation because it is supposed to like match your skin tone. I do not find that at all. And there is like a really big jump, unfortunately, between shade 1, which is this one, and then shade 2, which is quite a lot darker. That is why I had to purchase 2. But I would say if you're like an NC15, the shade 1 would work well for you. But yes, this is such a gorgeous, long-lasting, natural, but gives good coverage foundation that I feel like nobody ever talks about, and I love it. The next product is also kind of a foundation product. This is the Pixi H2O Skin Tint. This obviously has a lot less coverage than the MAC foundation that I just talked about. Basically just evens everything out. I would say it gives more coverage than you might think, but it still is, of course, light coverage. It is a gel formula, so it's not greasy or oily or, I don't know, sometimes skin tints just tend to slide right off my face. This can actually stand up against my face oils pretty well. Looks literally like skin. Like when I put this on, you cannot tell that I have anything on other than my face just looks, you know, less red and more even. It also has like a really nice cooling sensation when you put it on. And best of all, it dries down. So if you are somebody who doesn't like the stickiness of a normal tinted moisturizer, you are gonna love this. By the way, I have the shade Cream, which is pretty much exactly my skin tone, maybe a little bit darker once it dries. Unfortunately, they only have like 3 shades. It's literally like light, medium, dark. Does give light enough coverage that I think a lot of skin tones could probably get away with, you know, using some of these shades, but unfortunately, I'm not sure that it's super inclusive. However, great formula. The next product I want to talk about is something that I know I've mentioned to you guys before, but I just want to give it another shout out. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. Mine is literally an absolute disaster. I use it so much. I have the shade 1N. It has a massive doe foot applicator, which I don't really care. I don't care if it's a small or a large applicator, but the formula of this concealer, you guys, is so good. It literally minimal to no creasing. It makes my underlies look absolutely hydrated and fresh, but it dries down and it stays all day. I wouldn't say it gives super full coverage. I would give this like a medium coverage. So if you're on the hunt for a new concealer and you're looking for something that is long lasting, medium coverage, but looks fresh and natural, this is it. This is it, you guys. Another concealer I want to mention, and this is actually very, very similar in formula to the Estee Lauder, so if you're looking for a dupe, I would say this is close. This is the e.l.f., doesn't have a name on it, but it is an e.l.f. concealer. It's in a square tube. It is not a new launch. I'm pretty sure this is the e.l.f. HD. e.l.f. HD concealer, that sounds about right. This is the shade Fair, which is a little bit dark for me, so I do end up having to mix it in. But oh my god, same as the Estee Lauder concealer that I just mentioned, the formula is so good. It just is so smooth, so hydrating, but it lasts forever. And I would actually argue that this e.l.f. concealer has maybe a little bit more coverage than the Estee Lauder one that I just mentioned. I don't use it quite as much. I don't love it quite as much just because the color is a little bit off. But this is such a good drugstore concealer. I can't believe nobody ever talks about this. Everybody is so on the new e.l.f. Camouflage. I think it's camo. Maybe it's just camo concealer. Everybody's on that right now. Honestly, this cheaper and older e.l.f. HD concealer is way better in my opinion. Okay, next I want to talk about a blush formula. This is the MAC Mineralized blushes. I have two shades. This one is Sweet Enough, which is just like a really, really pretty rosy pink. And this one is Humor Me, which is a little bit more of like a taupey bronze with a little bit of blushiness in it. This is actually the one that I'm wearing today. It's kind of like a really great in-between blushy bronzer, but just giving you some color. But really it's the formula that I love so much about these. They are matte blushes, I would say, but they just have like a little bit of sheen, a little bit of glow in them so they don't look totally powdery and flat on your skin. They just blend so nicely, so evenly. But yeah, great blushes, and these two shades are pretty much my go-tos. Okay, quick little shout out to this e.l.f. Mix to Match Shade Adjuster. This is the yellow one, and they also have a white one, a blue one, and I think a deepening shade as well as like a bronzing shade. Like they have a whole thing of this. So as you can see, this is a yellow mixer, and I put a teeny tiny drop of this in with some foundations that I find are a little bit too pink or just too cool toned that I want to warm up. Literally the tiniest little pin drop of this makes a huge difference in the shade of my foundation. I have the white mixer as well that I use to lighten my foundations if I have a foundation that is just too dark for me. These are just so nifty to have in your collection, and they're so cheap. I'm pretty sure this was like $4. Wet n Wild lipsticks. Why does nobody ever talk about these? I know that some of the shades are a little bit questionable, but this formula, the matte Wet n Wild lipstick bullets, are so good. This is in the shade Mochalicious, which if you guys watch Raw Beauty Kristi, you probably know about. She does talk about this all the time, but I think mostly because of the shade, which is just like a really nice brown rosy. But I actually have this formula in several different colors because this is such a matte formula. It's totally like powder matte on the lips, but it's comfortable, long lasting, just a really good matte lipstick. And these are like $3. I can't even. If you're looking for something that is a very, very matte looking lipstick, look no further. Now for the lipstick that's on my lips. This is the Josie Maran Lip Sting Lip Balm. This is in the shade Embrace It Honey, which is just like a really nice peachy nude. Josie Maran is such an underrated brand in general, but this lipstick, like I don't know what I would do without it. I pretty much wear it every single day. It's like the perfect shade for me. It has like a little bit of like bee venom in it, so it does make your lips sting and like plump up a little bit, but I do really like it. It's not uncomfortable whatsoever. Nice, comfortable formula, super lightweight. It's not totally matte, but it's not like shiny either. A nice wash of color, and like I said, that plumping action. Yeah, nobody ever talks about this. It comes in a clear as well as like a darker pink. It's good. It's really good. Okay, this, I did see some sponsored videos of this when it first came out, but then I haven't really heard much since. This is from Tatcha. It's called The Pearl. And this is I wouldn't call it concealer by any means, but it's more just like a color correcting mousse, and it's meant for under the eyes, and it is so pretty. If you were someone who doesn't like to wear concealer, or maybe you don't really wear much base products in general, I think you would really like this because it just gives your under eyes a really nice brightening and freshening effect without looking like you're wearing makeup at all. It is expensive. Tatcha products, as you guys probably know, are very, very expensive, but this is one of those products that I feel that I would have to repurchase if I ran out. Still so much product in there, like you literally need the teeniest, tiniest little dot just to make such a huge difference. Okay, I believe this is my last product. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, this is product number 10. And this is by Rimmel London. It is a lip product. It is the Provocalips 16-Hour Kiss Proof Lip Color. This is in a red shade, but I have a couple other shades as well. So on one side, you have the lipstick color, and on the other side you have a clear balm. So what you do is you put the color on first. It's very, very sticky, so that's why you have to put the clear balm on over top. But you have to wait for the color side to kind of dry on your lips for a couple minutes first. And then the clear balm kind of locks it in, makes it more comfortable because, like I said, the color side is very, very sticky. But this stuff, if you are going to an event and you do not want to touch up your lipstick, like this will last through appetizer, main course, dessert, kisses, literally everything. This stuff will not budge. It takes so much effort to get this off, which is kind of a downside because you literally, like after an event, I'm literally like scrubbing my lips for like a half an hour. Like it's that strong, but just the ease of not having to touch up and being able to rock a red lip that isn't gonna go everywhere when I like eat something. But yeah, I feel like I just never hear anybody talk about this product, and it definitely comes in handy. Anyway guys, that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that maybe you discovered a couple products here that you might want to try that you haven't heard a ton of. And again, if you want to enter to win the Conspiracy Palette, all of the details will be in the description below. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!